Frank DeGrace is our stage manager for the third quarter.
Legendary's a little bit of a stretch there. He's only been here 30 years.
They lob it inside. It goes off Embiid at Ben Simmons, a late scratch. No Cam Thomas, no Cam Johnson. And now without D'Angelo Russell, hurt his shin in the first half and is out for the second half. So the Nets already struggling to generate offense. We'll have to hoist up Nick Claxton threes.
Well, look, I love the opportunity for the young players. We knew going into the season the Nets so far have, I would say, overachieved.
Oh, yeah.
Based off of what the early expectations are. So when you have some guys down, it's just an opportunity for other guys to step up.
Wow, how about that two-man?
Can do it all. That's the consistency that you're looking for with this group, the passing, the connection. You add Paul George into that, you might have a problem.
Claxton, mid-range? No. And Martin the rebound. Maxey wheeling through, kicking out. Yabusele back ironing off. Wilson looking to bust it forward for Brooklyn. Wilson loses it out. Embiid's three is good in 19 minutes thus far tonight. He has started to look more like himself late for Philadelphia, and tonight certainly has, as he has the double-double with rebound number 10 right there. Knocked away by Johnson, did a nice job battling with Yabusele. Martin lobbing it up, man.
You get those turnovers, you're able to get easy buckets because we see in the half court, especially without the one-on-one players, and they're missing pretty much all of the one-on-one players at this point in time. It just makes it so difficult to get a quality offensive shot.
Right to the bone, the shin bone. Embiid, nice dish. Maxey floats it.
Young guard.
Play, Wilson picks up his fourth foul. Wilson, the only net with more than two. Here's Claxton. The ball fake. Yabusele able to just snare it away. 14th turnover for Brooklyn. Yabusele, a truck in transition. You usually have Frank in your ear. You like having him in now, who, as coordinating producer of the NBA on NBC, he has been widely recognized throughout the association as the unbelievable producer that he is. We are going to miss him dearly, and fun to get to have an experience like
I'm a free agent when the year's over, just FYI.
and I can become one if the offer is good enough.
Yeah, come on, Frank. Look, we helped you get that job. Come on.
Johnson.
Also, by the way.
Martin in the corner can't hit. As we wind down the season, we're going to make sure to give Frank his proper flowers, but wanted to take this moment since we have our good friend out here at the table with us.
That's good defense so far.
Maxey in the corner. And for those of you wondering, oh, are they just producers? Don't worry. He's in our ears right now.
Oh, we have a much better producer in our ear now. So we feel far safer with him in our ear.
Keon Johnson off on a three. Embiid the rebound.
76-49.
Oh, you wanted
little things. Sometimes you get your full healthy roster like Philly did right now, and sometimes you're dealing with injuries. But Philly, for the first 25 games of the season, they didn't have their whole roster.
Johnson kicks it out. Williams connects.
This next two, keep shooting, keep your rhythm. Don't put your head down. You knock down your first three of the second half. Good job by Zaire.
Here's Embiid, loses it, circles back, fades away, and shot clock expires. 76-52 lead over Brooklyn with 6:40 to go in the third. Another jam-packed crowd at Barclays Center. Attendance has been fantastic this season as Clowney of age George won.
Trying to get something is very, very difficult for them. A little 8-0 run, just putting some pressure on them. Right now, Philly in that zone. and forcing Brooklyn to shoot him out of it.
And Clowney stepped in. One of the things Jordy Fernandez was talking about before the game as far as just growth that he's been pleased with is the way the Nets were able to finish that game Thursday night against Milwaukee, even though they didn't score for nearly 7 minutes to finish it. Only 2 Williams free throws in the final 6:55. But he said, you know, that was something a couple games ago against Orlando they couldn't do. They couldn't get that one more stop. They couldn't get that one more rebound. Just tracking that kind of growth in a season like this is how you navigate.
You can outrun your opponent. Joel Embiid is going to take his time. He is not sprinting up and down the floor.
Maxey connects. Maxey up to 15 points. That's been a theme. Maxey gets going in the third and fourth quarters. Embiid usually in the first. Martin cuts through. Lefty floater won't go. Clowney the rebound. Will fire. It's hit.
Of rebounds and drive and penetration and kick. Right there, Clowney gets the offensive rebound and knocks down his own three.
Embiid lumbers in this season. And he's out now for at least 2 weeks with a hamstring. Cam Johnson was doubtful. He's out at least the next 2 games with an injury. You also have Ben Simmons, who was a late scratch with a calf. And D'Angelo Russell left this game with a shin injury. And it's down significant bodies in this one as they nearly turn it over.
You have to deal with it. Injuries are a part of what you're going to navigate throughout the season, and the Nets are just in the middle of it.
Oh, Martin, nice little... Foul on Sharp.
God, I do know.
Do you want me to give you a hint?
I was trying to remember. No, but what was great is that's in the NBA. Eddie Jordan did it years in the league was the Princeton system.
And in fairness to you, he spent just 9 games.
I remember. It wasn't a long time. He wasn't a teammate, but I do remember Goody. Shout out Goody. Hope you're doing well with that Princeton education. You probably are.
Beekman cutting through, dishing low. Sharp able to corral. Martin 6 to shoot. Corner 3. Oh no. And Lowry the rebound. Jackson. Whoa. Fired a missile up there. Really burned through the backboard. Martin in transition. Off. Here comes Lowry.
Got a bit of a pillow fight here late in the third.
And Embiid gets denied by Iwoma. Here's Sharp. And he is fouled.
Another shot hits the side of the backboard. This scored it. Jerry West and that flag have taken a beating.
George goes behind the back, Embiid, and a whistle before. On the West Coast, they feel a little more encouraged about Philadelphia after the...
And it's tough, right? Like, do I think that they're going to have a top 3 seed? Most likely not. But if you're one of those top 3 teams and Philly shows up healthy in the postseason, that is a recipe for disaster for any of those teams.
Jackson comes up with a steal, 18th turnover for Brooklyn. Here's Embiid. Backs away, gives it up to George. George with 14 points, 6 assists. Step back 3 is good. Night thus far for all 3 members of Philadelphia's Big 3. And then you added Caleb Martin in his 17. Clowney can't hit. Rebound. Slapped over. Edwards. George, another one. It's off.
And look, for players like Paul George with that skill set, anyway, he's a future Hall of Famer. For Paul George, with the way he can shoot, you give him that freedom, you give him that leash. But it's when being
Sharp looking for some help. Wilson drops it. Regathers. Sharp from the free throw line is short. 1 minute to go in the third. Philadelphia an 88-61 lead. Embiid to the corner. Edwards on. Nets turn it over again. They're 19.
But they got to slow down. When you don't have that, again, we talked about you have to be a system team without your one-on-one players. That means that for you to say, we want to keep playing that style of play, well, you don't have the talent to do that, right? You got Joel Embiid, you can post up 20 times. If you don't have Joel Embiid, you're not have to slow down a little bit. They don't have their point guard out there, D'Angelo. You don't have the other playmaker in Ben Simmons, and you don't have your one-on-one players. So this is where you depend on your system and your consistency.
George passes out of the double. Embiid, 5 to shoot. Lost it. Edwards gets blocked. Clowney, 6 seconds left in the quarter. Beekman blurs in for the... As Beekman hits the free throw. 4.7 left. Embiid the deep catch. The fall away. Jackson's tip won't go.